Friday to everybody. I'm doing a backup video now about a little trip I did down to Camp Cable after work this afternoon. I went straight there, had to play around, drove around a bit, had a look how much it's changed, and the place it's going to be well, it already is a suburb. It's a shopping centres there, there's an industrial area, there's schools, there's parks, there's hundreds and hundreds of houses, if not thousands of houses, but there's more developments happening everywhere, but it'll probably take another 2 years, I'd say, for it to fully build right out. Could even last a little bit longer, but they're definitely getting into it. They've cleared the whole place. It's not a pine forest anymore at all. What else? They've put fences up everywhere. They really don't want you getting in. I found a couple of spots where you could just stumble through and no fences. So who knows? Might have to do a couple of SAS missions there, probably after dark or something like that one time, and just test out the little old mine lab again. This is the bit of fatwood that I grabbed from Camp Cable, plus a couple of bonus little termites. Anyway, that is the piece of, I just snapped this. This is very old. It's really old. It's been eaten out by white ants. But when I broke it, the colour may not come through on the video, but it's got a very dark, almost red colour tinge to it there. So I'm assuming behind all of that crappy looking stuff there, I think we're going to get some, and it smells pretty good, we're going to get some decent fatwood out of there. So also, just to show you how strong the fatwood part is, when I was still down there, I got this thing and I threw it into the ground. All the broken punk woody stuff broke off around it, but the fatwood core speared into the ground. So quite impressive that something that just falls apart has still got something half decent inside it. So I also got some punk wood from there as well. I'll show you the punk wood too, for those people who want to see it. And I forgot to mention that my new Schrade scf37, I believe it is, turned up today, so I'll show you that as well. I'll try and make this video a bit quicker than usual, or as of my latest ones. So here we go, we've got some nice soft springy punk wood. This one here is really spongy and soft. Pushes back nicely. Oh, it just breaks apart. You can probably hear that. Look at it falling to bits. Hopefully that works pretty good. This is the Schrade. I was expecting this to be blunt out of the box. It actually cuts paper, and I tested on some nice thin paper, but even more surprisingly, it actually shaves. I wouldn't call it hair popping or razor sharp, but probably don't see that, but you may be able to see that. So it is shaving. Also, I forgot to mention this the other day, but just with everybody who cuts themselves, those little sorry looking things on the back of my wrist, that's for when you're just standing around just talking to your mate and you got your cold steel frontier hawk in your hand and you're just swinging it around, like giving that little flicks. It was coming around the bottom of the beard, just kept catching me, but it took me 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 times to learn my lesson. Anyway, okay, so yes, that shaves. cuts paper, no drama. So this isn't really an overview at all, it's just new out of the box. Got it today. This is going to be a beater. I'll put a square on there, check the back of the blade, check both sides for being square, and it checked out pretty good, surprisingly. After watching some of the reviews and hearing the people talking about the jimping underneath here being extremely rough and up here, they're correct. It's actually on the edges, on the brand new edges where it's been machined. That's where it's really tough, there and there. Before I change it, I'm going to take it away camping this weekend and put it through its paces and test it out first before I modify it. But I'll probably get my die grinder onto there. Probably I'll take the sharp edges off, I'll dull it down a little bit, take the sharp edges off here, test that, see how I go. But I believe if I grind this down a little bit, you can actually see it, it's a little bit, the steel jimping there's proud of the rubber handle. I'll probably die grind it down just to the level of the rubber handle there, and that will probably give me a better ramp for my thumb. Instead of being up higher, it'll just sink down that extra, you know, just over an eighth of an inch, maybe 2.5 mil, 3 mil, and yeah. Anyway, this comes with it's a pretty shitty sheath, but I've seen my mates it does the job, but they get pretty ratty and tatty. Another ferro rod, it's got the steel striker. The striker's actually nice and sharp on the edges, so that's good. Comes with a pretty dodgy sort of diamond stone, sharpening stone. You probably can't see that, but it's not straight. That's why I've got the roofing square over there. I could put it on there, but it's just going to take up extra time. Just believe me, that's not dead straight. So, you know, cheap, made in China, rah rah. It'll give you a bit of an edge if you're out in the scrub bashing around, kind of like what I intend on doing with it. But I'll probably take my land ski with me this weekend because it is raining. I think we're going to get a little bit of rain at least for tonight, maybe over the weekend. I don't watch the TV, the news, or listen to any of that rubbish anymore because they haven't told the truth for forever. Okay, so let's get some fatwood happening for Fatwood Friday, and this is going to be camp cable fatwood. So, yeah. I need a little betoning stick. Hopefully this will work. La-dee-dee-da. Oh, it's tearing into this. This is definitely old and dry. So I'm not expecting the best fatwood out of this, but taking it into really, really long shavings. I'm assuming that's because it's so dry and old, not real resiny. Anyway, that should be enough to get it going. We'll test out the Schrade's ferro rod. Probably helps to take the little striker out of the inside of that tinder box. It's a bit average and stuff. There we go. It's not the best in the world. It's a little bit aged. Oh. That's terrible. We'll say that that's pretty shitty fatwood. It is old though. So anyway, that's it. Thanks guys. Yeah.